Gaurāṅga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai. Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishimara Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shila Gurudev ki Jai. Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishimara Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishimara Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishimara Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalala Pravishtam Vishnupara Shuttara Shutta Shishimara Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki Jai. Nityalala Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gaurāṅga Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Nityalala Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai. Nityalala Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki Jai. Jai. Jai Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Shar Gosai Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandadi Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki Jai. Namachay Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Kshetra Mandala, Gaura Mandala, Vraja Mandala, Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Radha Kund, Shama Kund ki Jai. Shri Amuna Devi, Gaṅgā-devī ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaṅgā-devī ki Jai. Gaṅgā-devi's auspicious appearance day ki Jai. Shri Gaṅgā Dashahara ki Jai. Jai Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrindadevi ki Jai. Jai Shri hari-saṅkīrtana ki Jai. Shri Gaṅgā Mata Goswamini ki Jai. Tadir Shubha Avirbhav Titi ki Jai. Jai Shri Gaṅgā-devī ki Jai. Gaṅgā Maharani ki Jai. Jai Shri Ananta Koti hari-saṅkīrtana ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Hare Krishna. Right, the Dandavat pranams. I'm glad you joined Nitai Mukesh because there's nobody else here. Yeah. And oh, I see there are some devotees on YouTube and Facebook. If you write a comment, I'll see your name. But Dandavat pranams. So I thought today, on the occasion of the appearance day of Gaṅgā-devī, I thought it would be nice to memorize a Praṇāma-mantra, a very beautiful Praṇāma-mantra to Gaṅgā-devī. We're including it in this upcoming edition of the Gaudiya Giti Gucha. It is from the Sādhanāmṛta-candrikā. Maybe first we can look at the translation for it, and then we can start to memorize it. I got this all ready very last minute. As always, that's kind of my thing. Wait a second, let me just replace this with a couple. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So here you can find this. Well, let's read the translation first, and then we'll go through all the verses. 1 second, let me just open up. I'm going to open up my website. I sent it out to on Vine of Devotion. You can find it, vineofdevotion.com. That's my website. And it's the last post I made there. Here it is. Okay. So here's a translation. Let's read it. Oh, and in case you're wondering, Sādhanāmṛta-candrikā is compiled and written by Siddha Krishnadas Tatpada or something like that. I think that's his name. He also compiled the, what is it called? Bhavamrita Sang. No, what is it? Anyways, but many of the extra pranam mantras that are in our songbook were written by him. He's like around I think he's around the 1800s, that time period. I don't know though. I have to, or no, maybe 1900s. But okay, so here's the translation. She is enveloped by the fragrance of multitudes of flowers from Navadvīp's groves, adorned with rows of shining jewels on her banks, and dotted with numerous holy places. Her body is sprinkled with the dust of Śrī Gaurāṅga Hari's matchless feet, and she resounds with tumultuous waves of prema arising from the ras of hari-saṅkīrtana. She is the vessel for the Lord's playful pastimes. Her form is made of ambrosial ras, and her glories are extolled by sages, Shiva, Brahmā, Indra, and others. She appears radiant. Her saffron lotuses swarm with honeybees, and she is filled with profuse compassion. I offer my obeisance to Gaṅgā-devī, whose drops of water destroy multitudes of sins. So this is the verse we're going to memorize. I think though, because this verse is it's in the same meter as Manashiksha and Nityanandashtakam or Jagannatashtakam. It's that same meter. I think it's called Shikarini. And so I'm thinking it might be too much to memorize all 8 lines in this session, so I might divide this into two. Yeah, I think we'll try to memorize the first 4 lines today, and then the next group of 4 lines tomorrow. All right, so and Shikarini meter, the way it goes is like you can see, I put all the like dark blue is a short syllable, and the bold lighter color is a long syllable. And so the in Sanskrit, I think probably most of you already know, but in Sanskrit, meters are um, yeah, they are organized in a particular pattern according to short and long syllables. So with this, it's na. Wait, let's see. Na 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 na, and then let's see. Na 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 na, and then what is it? Yeah, prakara-kusumā. Wait, na 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 na. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so it's 5 and then a long one. Sorry. Okay, and then another long one, and then na na na. Okay, this is the pattern. So the dots are the short syllables, and the lines are the long syllables. Na 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 na, and then there's a pause. Na 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 na, and then there's a pause, and then na 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 na. Na. Oops, it's like this. Okay, wait. Na 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 na. Okay, I think it's like this. Sorry guys, I should have done this before. Okay. Na 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 na. Okay, that's it. Okay. So let's recite this in the proper meter. Navadvīpārāma-prakara-kusumāmoda-valitāṁ Spuradratna-shreni Chitta-tata-sutirta-valiyutam harer gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ Samudyat premormi tumula hari-saṅkīrtana rasai prabhu-krīḍā-pātrīm amṛta-rasa-gātrīm ṛṣi-ghaṭā śiva-brahmendrādīḍita, and then there's some syllables missing here, māhātmya-mukharām lasat kinjal kambo jani madupagarbo rukarunam ahaṁ vande gaṅgām agha-nikara-bhaṅgā-jala-kaṇām. Okay, so something I did to prepare this, I put this into Gemini. Well, we already had made a translation, and then I made a special prompt. I'll show you the prompt I made, and then we can look at what the result was. So yeah, we put in the translation, and then let's see, where is this Google Gemini? Okay, so this is the prompt. And I can share this prompt with you so that if you ever try to learn a verse, you can just enter in this prompt. And then it will produce this, what you see right here. It has all these different components. I wanted for each line, I wanted a title, like just a title for each line to help me remember it. And then the Sanskrit line. And then I wanted the Sanskrit line, but in the same word order as the Sanskrit in English. So Navadvīpārāma, that's Navadvip's groves. And then prakara means many. And then kusuma is flowers. And then amoda is fragrance. And valitāṁ, she's enveloped. And so I wanted it in a sentence so that that's following the Sanskrit word order, so that when I'm reciting the Sanskrit, I can be really focused on what the meaning of all the words. So Navadvīpārāma-prakara-kusumāmoda-valitāṁ, and now by Navadvip's groves, many flowers, fragrance, she's enveloped. So now I can really, I'm not just memorizing random Sanskrit words, but I actually know what I'm singing. And then I just said to give it the natural translation that we made also under that. And then I asked it to give me the word for word with an emoji next to it, because I think pictures really help. I also asked it to give an emoji for the title for each verse. So you can see there's Navadvip's flower fragrance embraces, shining jeweled banks, holy sites. Gauranga's foot dust sanctifies her, resounds with Kirtan's love waves, premurmi. Yeah, and it gave me an emoji. So I think these will be really helpful for memorizing the verse, because then for once you have the lines somewhat memorized, then the thing that's difficult sometimes is to memorize the order of the lines. And so now we have here, look, I'm just going to make a table right here. We can see everything. Let's see. Table of contents. Here, look at this. See, right? It's all here. You can remember there's a flower, a jewel, footprints, sound, or kirtan, and then like that. Divinely praised, lotuses. There should be a lotus flower there. Anyways, and then I bow. And see, so now all these images are in your head, and you can easily remember the lines. Like you can call them to memory. So maybe I should show this at the end. I'll just show you now. So this is the prompt I gave it, and I can share this with you so that you can just put in this prompt anytime you try to learn a verse. So I said, I'm learning a verse, and then you can specify if it's in Sanskrit or Bengali or whatever, and would like your assistance in breaking it down for deeper understanding and to help me teach it to others. I'll provide the original verse and its general English translation below. Could you please process the verse line by line, and for each line, provide the following 5 components. Emoji and essence. I want a single relevant emoji that captures the core idea or an important element of the line, and then a very brief essence or theme of the line in 5 words or less. And then I want the original line, the line from the verse in its original language script, and then the literal translation for chanting or singing. And then I'm not going to read that all out, and then the natural translation, and then a detailed word for word breakdown. And it has all the detailed things so that you can get exactly this result. And then you paste in the verse and you paste in the translation, and that's it. Then you put it into whatever thing you want to use, ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, whatever system you want to use, and then you'll get this exactly. And I think this is, yeah, extremely helpful for memorizing any verses. Okay. So let's begin with the first line. And remember, here are the topics. So first is Navadvip's flower fragrance. She's embraced by Navadvip's flower fragrance from the forest. And then she has shining jeweled banks and many holy sites on those banks. Gauranga's foot dust sanctifies her. She resounds with kirtans, with love's waves, whatever. I'd probably actually fix these titles up a bit. And then she's the Lord's playground. She's formed from nectar. She's divinely praised. She has radiant lotuses, bees that are filled with bees, and she's filled with compassion. I bow to Gaṅgā, who the sin destroyer. So now the first line. I'm going to change its title though. Navadvip's. Let's say enveloped. Enveloped by Navadvip's flower fragrance. Yeah, there. Okay. So Navadvīpārāma, Arama. So Navadvip, we know Navadvip, and then Arama. Arama means groves or gardens. And then Prakara means multitudes, like in Chintamani Prakara Sarma Sukalpa Vriksha, right? Prakara is like multitudes of Chintamani in that verse. So Prakara means multitudes. And then Kusuma means flowers. Amoda means fragrance. And Valitāṁ, she is enveloped or surrounded by. So this means she is enveloped by the fragrance of multitudes of flowers from Navadvip's groves. That's the translation. And lots of times with Sanskrit verses, it's like in the exact opposite order as you have it in English. For example, she's enveloped. So enveloped here is the last word. That's valitāṁ. By the fragrance, that's amoda. The fragrance of prakara kusuma, multitudes of kusuma, of flowers. From Navadvīpārāma, from the groves of Navadvip, or Navadvip's groves. So see how it goes. It's usually, yeah, the reverse order in English, how it is in Sanskrit. So, okay, so let's try to memorize the first, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to break this into parts. So, Navadvīpārāma. Navadvīpārāma, by Navadvip's groves. Navadvīpārāma. Remember, Arama means groves or gardens. So, Navadvīpārāma. Navadvīpārāma, by Navadvip's groves. Prakara kusuma, prakara many kusuma flowers, prakara kusuma, prakara kusuma, prakara kusuma, many flowers. Navadvīpārāma, by Navadvip's groves, prakara-kusuma, many flowers. Navadvīpārāma, sorry, Navadvīpārāma-prakara-kusuma. Navadvīpārāma-prakara-kusuma. By Navadvīp's groves, many flowers. And then it's going to say fragrance. So that's flowers in the possessive. Kusumāmoda means flowers, fragrance. Navadvīpārāma-prakara-kusuma. Let's try saying that without looking now. One last time looking, and then we'll try it without looking. So Navadvīpārāma-prakara-kusuma. Okay, now let's try without looking. Navadvīpārāma-prakara-kusuma. And try to picture in the meaning of the words when you're saying it. So Navadvīpārāma. So Navadvip's gardens or Navadvip's groves. Navadvīpārāma. Picture Navadvip's groves. Navadvīpārāma. And then prakara-kusuma. Kusuma means flowers. Prakara, many. Prakara-kusuma, many flowers. So you can think of Navadvip and the many flowers in the groves. Navadvīpārāma, prakara-kusuma. Navadvīpārāma, prakara-kusuma. Okay, now you try saying it. Well, we'll say it one more time together. Navadvīpārāma, prakara-kusuma. Now you try saying it. Navadvīpārāma, prakara-kusuma. Now you say it. Okay. And now we will amṛta-valitāṁ. Amoda means fragrance. So kusumāmoda means flowers, fragrance. Amoda, she is valitāṁ. She is enveloped by the flowers' fragrance, the many flowers' fragrance from the groves of Navadvip. Okay, so amṛta-valitāṁ. She's enveloped by the fragrance. Fragrance enveloped. Amṛta-valitāṁ. Fragrance enveloped. Amṛta-valitāṁ. 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 The fragrance, by the fragrance, she's enveloped. Amṛta-valitāṁ. 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 By the fragrance, she's enveloped. Amṛta-valitāṁ. Now say it without looking. Amṛta-valitāṁ. 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 Think of the fragrance. And valitāṁ, she's enveloped, she's embraced by, completely surrounded by valitāṁ. Amṛta-valitāṁ. You say that. You say it. Amṛta-valitāṁ. Okay, now the full line. Navadvīpārāma, prakara-kusumāmoda-valitāṁ. Navadvīpārāma, prakara-kusuma. Remember that? Navadvip's groves, many flowers. Navadvip's groves, many flowers. Navadvīpārāma, prakara-kusuma. By the fragrance, valitāṁ, she's enveloped. Navadvīpārāma, prakara-kusumāmoda-valitāṁ. Navadvīpārāma, prakara-kusumāmoda-valitāṁ. One last time. Navadvīpārāma-prakara-kusumāmoda-valitāṁ. Okay, now let's try it without looking. Actually, one last time, saying it together. Navadvīpārāma prakara-kusumāmoda-valitāṁ. Kusumāmoda-valitāṁ. The flower's fragrance she's enveloped. Kusumāmoda-valitāṁ. Prakara-kusumāmoda-valitāṁ. Navadvīpārāma prakara-kusumāmoda-valitāṁ. Okay, now without looking. Navadvīpārāma prakara-kusumāmoda-valitāṁ. Navadvīpārāma prakara-kusumāmoda-valitāṁ. Valitāṁ, say it lange. So now you try saying it. Okay, one last time. Navadvīpārāma prakara-kusumāmodita-valaṁ. Is it? Valitam. Sorry, did I say it wrong? I just said it wrong. Navadvīpārāma prakara-kusumāmoda-valitāṁ. Okay, now you say it again. Okay, now we will go through the next line. So the meaning of this line is adorned with rows of shining jewels on our banks and dotted with numerous holy places. What's chitta mean? Adorned with. Okay. Okay. So spurad. Spurad means shining, and ratna means jewels. So spurad ratna means shining jewels. And then shreni means rose. Oh wait, let's look at the word for word here with the emojis. Okay, so spurat, shining, sparkling, glittering. See, there's a sparkling emoji. And then ratna means jewels, gems. And then shreni means rows or lines. So there's rows or lines of shining or sparkling gems, spurat ratna. And chitta, she's adorned with. She's adorned with rows of shining jewels. Spurad ratna shreni chitta. And then tata, it's the banks of the river. Sutirtha means the excellent holy places. The tirthas, the beautiful tirthas. Also su just means like anything positive, like beautiful, excellent, good, wonderful, any kind of good thing is su. So the beautiful tirthas, avali, the series of tirthas, yutang, she is possessed of, or she's endowed with. So spurad ratna shreni chitta yeah, so let's say this line now. So spurat means shining, ratna, jewels, shreni, rose, chitta, she's adorned with. Spurad ratna shreni. You can just picture that. Rows of shining jewels. Spurad ratna, shining jewels, shreni, rose. So picture in your mind, rows of shining jewels. Spurat ratna shreni. Spurad ratna shreni. Spurad ratna shreni. Shining jewels rose. Spurad ratna shreni. Spurad ratna shreni. Chitta tata. Sutirta. So she's adorned with like with that, with rows of shining jewels. And then Tarta on her banks is Sutirta, is beautiful tirtas. Can picture like, on her banks, you see on her banks all these different temples and all the different pastime places of Mahaprabhu. All these are all, you know, wonderful places of pilgrimage that will purify one. So so many pastimes happened along her banks. They're all tirtas. So it's not just the Ganga, which is purifying, but on the banks, there's so many tirtas purifying. So Tarta, banks, Sutirta. Yeah, so on her banks are beautiful tirtas. Spuradratna Shreni Chitta Tarta Sutirta Chitta Tarta Sutirta. Her banks are adorned with tirtas. Chitta Tarta Tirta. Sorry, Chitta Tarta Sutirta. Chitta Tarta Sutirta. Chitta Tarta Sutirta. Spuradratna Shreni. Chitta Tarta Sutirta. Spuradratna Shreni. Chitta Tarta Sutirta. Spuradratna Shreni. Chitta Tarta Sutirta. With shining jewel rose adorned banks. Okay, so Spuradratna Shreni Chitta Tarta. With shining jewel rose adorned banks. Sutirta and beautiful holy places. And then Avali means series. So there's one after the next, after the next, after the next. There's a series of just one tirtha after the next tirtha after the next tirtha on her banks. All these wonderful places of pilgrimage that purify one. So many pastimes of Mahaprabhu happened, especially in Navadvīpa. So Sutirtha Avali is just one after the next, just rows, series. And then Yutam, she's endowed with that. In the translation, we put dotted just because it sounded nice. She's dotted with numerous holy places. But yeah, so Sutirta Valiyutam. She's endowed with a series of holy places on her banks. Sutirta Valiyutam. Sutirta Valiyutam. Sutirta Valiyutam. Sutirta Valiyutam. Okay, now let's try to do this and let's repeat this a few times and then we'll try saying it without looking. Spuradratna, shining jewels, sheni, rows of chitta, bank, adorned tata, banks. So with shining jeweled rose adorned banks. Spuradratna shreni chitta tata sutir. No, okay, let's just do it up to here. Chitta tata. Spuradratna shreni chitta tata. Spuradratna shreni chitta tata. Chitta tata. Adorned banks. Remember that. Adorned banks. Her banks are adorned with shreni, rows of Spuradratna, shining jewels. Spuradratna shreni chitta tarta, adorned banks. Chitta tarta, adorned banks. Chitta tarta. Spuradratna shreni chitta tarta. Okay, now let's try saying that without looking. Spuradratna shreni chitta tarta, adorned banks. Chitta tarta. Spuradratna shreni chitta tata. Spurat. Just think of spurat, shining. Ratna, beautiful jewels. So shining jewels. Spuradratna. 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 And think of rows. Shreni, rows of these shining jewels. Spuradratna Shreni. Shining jewels rose, Spuradratna Shreni. Chitta-tata, adorned banks. So now you can picture the banks. And they're adorned with these rows of shining jewels, these Spuradratna. Spuradratna Shreni. Chitta-tata. Let's say it 2 times and then you try saying it on your own. Spuradratna Shreni Chitta-tata. Spuradratna Shreni Chitta-tata. Now you try saying it. Spuradratna Shreni Chitta-tata. Okay, now we will look at this next part. Sutirta-valiyutam. 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 So, holy places series endowed with. So, let's not say good, beautiful. I like beautiful. Beautiful holy places series. She's endowed. Beautiful, Tirtha, Avali, series, Yutam. She's endowed. So one after the next, all these holy places on her banks. Sutirta Valiyutam. Sutirta Valiyutam. Sutirta Valiyutam. Sutirta Valiyutam. Okay, now without looking. Sutirta Valiyutam. Sutirta Valiyutam. Sutirtha Valiyutam. Sutirtha Valiyutam. You can picture it. Picture all different temples and all these things on her banks. Sutirtha Valiyutam. Sutirtha Valiyutam. Okay, now you try saying it. Sutirtha Valiyutam. Sutirtha Valiyutam. Sutirtha Valiyutam. Okay, so now let's put it together. Spuradratna Shreni Chitta-tata Sutirtha Valiyutam. Spuradratna Shreni Chitta-tata Sutirtha Valiyutam. With shining jewel rose adorned banks and beautiful holy places series she's endowed with. So Spuradratna Shreni Chitta-tata Sutirtha Valiyutam. Spuradratna Shreni Chitta-tata Sutirtha Valiyutam. Spuradratna Shreni Chitta-tata Sutirtha Valiyutam. Okay, so now let's try it without looking. Spuradratna Shreni Chitta-tata Sutirtha Valiyutam. Okay, so are you picturing it in your head when you're saying it? Just remember, shining, Spuradratna, shining jewels. Spuradratna and Shreni, rows of shining jewels. Spuradratna Shreni. And then Chitta, her banks are adorned with these rows of shining jewels. Chitta, adorned with her banks. Now picture her banks. Tata, banks, tata. So Spuradratna Shreni Chitta-tata sutirta-valiyutam. Okay, and sutirta-valiyutam. The beautiful tirtas, sutirta, the beautiful tirtas, avali, the series, one after another, all the beautiful tirtas. Yutam, she's endowed with that, with all these beautiful tirtas. So spuradratana shreni chitta-tata sutirta-valiyutam. Spuradratana shreni chitta-tata sutirtha-valiyutam. Okay, let's say it one more time together and then you try saying it on your own. Spuradratana shreni chitta-tata sutirtha-valiyutam. Okay, now you try saying it. Okay, one last time. Spuradratana shreni chitta-tata sutirtha-valiyutam. Okay, so now the third line. The first line, navadvīpārāma-prakara-kusumāmoda-valitāṁ. Spuradratna shreni chitta-tata sutirtha-valiyutam. And now the third line is harer-gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. So what's the meaning of that? It means her body is sprinkled with the dust of Śrī Gaurāṅga Hari's matchless feet. Her body is sprinkled with the dust of Śrī Gaurāṅga Hari's matchless feet. So hare, it's the genitive case, it means haris, and Gaurāṅgasya means Gaurāṅgas. So hari Gaurāṅgas, atula-caraṇa-reṇū. So atula means, tula means match, and atula means matchless, incomparable. There's no match, no comparison. Atula. Atula-carana. Carana means feet. Reṇū means dust. And ukshita means sprinkled. That's not a good emoji for sprinkled. Anyways, doesn't matter. I'll find a better emoji after. And then tanum means body. So her body is ukshita, is sprinkled with the reṇū, with the dust from the charana, from the feet, from the atula charana, from the matchless feet of Gaurāṅga, Gaurāṅgasya, of Hari, of Gaurāṅga. Because that Gaurāṅga is non-different from Hari. Hare Gaurāṅgasya means of Hari, of Gaurāṅga. Okay, so all these words are clear? Now let's see. Harer gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Okay, so let's try to memorize this part first. Harer gaurāṅgasya. Harer means Haris, and Gaurāṅgasya means Gaurāṅgas. Harer gaurāṅgasya. Harer gaurāṅgasya. Harer gaurāṅgasya. Atula charana. Atula matchless charana feet. Atula charana matchless feet. Hari Gaurāṅgas matchless feet. Atula charana. Harer gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa. Harer gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa. Matchless feet. Harer gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa. Harer gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa. Hari Gaurāṅga's incomparable feet, matchless feet. Harer gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa. Let's say it two more times and then we'll say it without looking. Harer gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa. Harer gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa. Harer gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa. Okay, now without looking. Harer gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa. Atula-caraṇa, matchless feet. Atula-caraṇa. Harer gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa. Harer gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa. Now you say it. Harer gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa. Charana what? Charana renu. Renu means dust. Renu, dust. So foot dust is charana renu. Foot dust. Charana renu. Charana-reṇūkṣita. And ukshita means sprinkled. Tanuṁ. Tanuṁ means the body. So Ganga's body is ukshita, is sprinkled with the atula charana renu, with the matchless feet. Sorry, with the matchless foot dust. Charana renu. What's the song? Radhika Charana Renu. Radhika Charana Renu. Bhushana Koriyatanu. Right? So Charana Renu means foot dust. Atula Charana Renu. Matchless foot dust. Atula Charana Renu. Ukshita, she sprinkled. Tanum, her body. So. Atula Charana Renu. Should we just, yeah, well, let's do this whole part. Atula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. 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 Matchless foot dust sprinkled is her form, on her form. Okay. Atula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. So her form is ukshita, is sprinkled. Ukshita, sprinkled. Ukshita, sprinkled. Tanum. Her form is ukshita, is sprinkled. Sprinkled with what? With the atula charana renu, with the matchless, the atula charana renu, feet dust. Atula charana renu kshitam tanum. Atula charana renu kshita tanum. Atula charana renu kshita tanum. Atula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Let's try it now without looking. Atula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Atula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Charana-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Think of Mahaprabhu's feet, Charana and Renu. Just picture the dust on Mahaprabhu's feet. Charana Renu and then ukshitams. Picture that dust on Mahaprabhu's feet being sprinkled on Tanum, on the body of Ganga. Ukshita, sprinkled. Tanum. Ukshita Tanum. Charana Renu Kshitam Tanum. Charana Renu Kshita Tanum. Charana Renu Kshita Tanum. Charana Renu Kshita Tanum. Charana Renu Kshita Tanum. Atula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Okay, let's say that 2 times and then you try saying it on your own. Atula, matchless. Atula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Atula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Now you try saying it. Atula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Satula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Okay, so now what are the first two words? Harer-gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Putting it all together now. Hari Gauranga's matchless feet dust sprinkled on her form. Okay, so that's what the line's saying. Harer Gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Harer Gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Harer Gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. One last time. Harer Gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Harer Gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Okay, now let's try saying it without looking. Harer Gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Harer Gaurāṅgasya. Harer Gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Let's say it two more times and then you say it without me. Harer Gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Harer Gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. One last time. Harer Gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Okay, now you try saying it. Harer Gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ. Okay, so now we will do the last line. Finally, we get to the last line. Well, it's not the last line, but the last line for today. But this is line number 4 out of 8. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, that all of this, these like this first 7 lines are all adjectives. It's all adjectives of finally this last line here. Ahaṁ vande, I offer obeisances, I offer prayers, or I worship. Vande can mean all those 3 things. I worship gaṅgām, that Gaṅgā who destroys all grievous sins. Just one drop, a kana of her jal, just a drop of her water can destroy. Agha-nikara, nikara means multitudes of sins, agha. So I worship that Gaṅgā. I worship that Gaṅgā who is, Navadvīpārāma, who is Spura, who is Gaurāṅga, like that. Samudya, all these lines are like that. They're all explaining this. Ahaṁ vande gaṅgām. So now this 4th line. So this 4th line means she resounds with tumultuous waves of prema arising from the ras of hari-saṅkīrtana. So beautiful, huh? So, well, actually, the word resounds isn't in the Sanskrit. That's just kind of added, it's implied, I guess. So, I think our calf got loose and they're trying to look for him right now. I just hear them calling out for her. Okay, so rasai. This rasai, this case here, is the instrumental plural, and in Sanskrit, and so it means with or by. with or by the transcendental mellows. Of what? Of tumula, of tumultuous. This is easy to remember the meaning of this word because we see it's almost the same in English. Tumula is tumultuous. The first four letters are exactly the same. Tumul and tumul in English and in Sanskrit. Tumula means tumultuous. Tumultuous hari-saṅkīrtana rasai. So by the ras, by the nectar, by the ras can't be translated. So by the ras of tumultuous hari-saṅkīrtana, her urmi, the her waves of prem samudyat are rising, are swelling, they're surging upwards. So beautiful, huh? So by the ras of tumultuous hari-saṅkīrtana, the waves of prem are rising, are swelling. Remember how I mentioned it's usually in the reverse order in the English translation. So rasai, by the ras of tumula hari-saṅkīrtana, of tumultuous hari-saṅkīrtana, the urmi, her waves of prem, premurmi, so the waves of prem, samudyat, are rising. So rising prem waves. Yeah. Samudyat premurmi. With rising prem waves. Samudyat premurmi. Samudyat premurmi. Prema, urmi, and you merge it together, you understand, like basically Sandhi is like this, right? So it says urmi and prema, and then the a and u merge together to become o. Like that. Just like purushottam means the purusha and uttam. So the topmost being, right, is Purusha and Uttam, Purushottam. So prema, urmi, premurmi. Samudyat, rising, prema, love, urmi, waves, prem waves. Okay, so her prem waves are samudyat, are rising. Samudyat premurmi, samudyat premurmi. Samudyat premurmi, samudyat premurmi, samudyat premurmi, rising prem waves, samudyat premurmi, samudyat premurmi. Now try saying that without looking. Samudyat means rising. Samudyat. Samudyat premurmi. Samudyat premurmi. And urmi is waves. Okay. Today I went to the Gaṅgā just a little while ago, and there was a big, well, it seemed like there's going to be a big storm coming. There's intense wind, and there's so many waves. Waves. Premur. But what are these waves? They're waves of prem. Premurmi. Premurmi. Waves of prem. Samudyat, they're rising. Premurmi. Samudyat premurmi. Samudyat premurmi. Rising prem waves. Samudyat premurmi. Samudyat premurmi. Now you try saying it. Samudyat premurmi. Samudyat premurmi. Samudyat premurmi. Okay, so what is causing those waves of prem to swell? What is causing her waves of prem to swell? It is the tumula hari-saṅkīrtana rasai. Tumula, tumultuous, tumula, tumultuous, tumula, tumultuous, tumultuous hari-saṅkīrtana rasai, the ras. By the ras of tumultuous hari-saṅkīrtana. tumula hari-saṅkīrtana rasai. So you can picture on the Gaṅgā, there's this tumultuous, tumula hari-saṅkīrtana ras that's going on, and it's rasai. By that ras, she's so there's so many, by the banks of the Gaṅgā, there's so many devotees, and they're performing hari-saṅkīrtan, tumultuous hari-saṅkīrtan, and this is giving her so much bliss, and it's causing the waves of prema, of her prema, to swell, to rise, samudyat. She's getting so much happiness from all this tumula hari-saṅkīrtan that's going on, this tumultuous hari-saṅkīrtan that's going on. So beautiful, huh? Okay, so tumula hari-saṅkīrtana, tumula hari-saṅkīrtana, tumula hari-saṅkīrtana, tumula hari-saṅkīrtana, tumula, tumultuous, tumula, tumultuous, tumula hari-saṅkīrtana. Rasai. Rasai means by the ras. Rasai, by the ras. Rasai, by the ras. Tumula hari-saṅkīrtana rasai. Tumula hari-saṅkīrtana rasai. Tumula hari-saṅkīrtana rasai. By the ras of tumultuous hari-saṅkirtan. Tumula hari-saṅkirtana rasai. Tumula hari-saṅkirtana rasai. Tumula hari-saṅkirtana rasai. Now you try saying it. We'll say it one more time and then you say it on your own. Tumula hari-saṅkirtana rasai. Now you say it. Tumula hari-saṅkirtana rasai. Tumula hari-saṅkirtana rasai. Okay. So let's put the whole line together. Sumudyat premurmi tumula hari-saṅkirtana rasai. With rising prem waves, with rising prem waves, samudyat premurmi, tumultuous hari-saṅkirtana rasai. By the tumultuous hari-saṅkirtan ras. Okay. Samudyat premurmi, tumula hari-saṅkirtana rasai. Samudyat premurmi, tumula hari-saṅkirtana rasai. Samudyat premurmi, tumula hari-saṅkirtana rasai. One last time, and then we'll do... No, actually, let's do it without looking now. Samudyat premurmi. Samudyat premurmi. Tumula hari-saṅkirtana rasai. 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 Okay, so that's you try saying it now. Samudyat premurmi. Tumula hari-saṅkirtana rasai. Now you say that. Samudyat premurmi. Tumula hari-saṅkirtana rasai. Okay, so that's the whole verse. We just memorized the entire, well, the first verse. Let's recite everything together now. The first 4 lines, which we just memorized. I should put the emojis here, huh? That'd be helpful. I'll do that later. But I'm going to do that next time. I'll put the emojis at the beginning of each line so that you have a picture to memorize each line. Um, like that. Navadvīpārāma-prakara-kusumāmoda-valitāṁ Spuradratna-shreni Chitta-tatta-sutirta-valiyutam harer-gaurāṅgasyātula-caraṇa-reṇūkṣita-tanuṁ Samudyat premurmi tumula hari-saṅkīrtana rasai. Okay, so that's our program for today. And tomorrow we will go over verse number 2. Well, it's actually all these 8 lines are all one verse. It's not 2 separate verses, but yeah, we have to divide it into parts, otherwise it's too difficult. There, okay. Is music good for kirtan, this emoji? I'm not sure. Anyways, I'm just going to use it. Okay, so see we have a flower, a jewel, feet, and kirtan. Flower, jewel, feet, kirtan. So kusuma is the key word in this one. And ratna is the key word in this one. And charana is the key word in this one. And sankirtan is the key word in this one. So this is how you can memorize the order of the lines. Flower, jewel, feet, kirtan. Actually, I'm curious. You know, before I started this, I hadn't memorized this verse. And so the reason I'm teaching this verse right now, the reason I'm explaining it and doing this verse memorization is so that I myself can memorize the verse. Because when you explain a verse, when you go into teacher mode and you're trying to explain it and trying to teach it, that is the most thorough way to memorize a verse. Now I'm sure I'll be able to memorize. I think now I'm not going to ever forget the verse. When I just try to memorize a verse on my own, and I might be able to say it afterwards, but usually it will leave my memory. But now that I've taught it, it's going to stick there. I know because this has happened before. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to be able to say the verse really easily because I was able to teach it. So I'm going to actually write a post tomorrow on my website, vineofdevotion.com, on this topic of how helpful it is to teach verses. You can teach a friend. Learning pyramid, Nitai Mukesh is saying. But yeah, this might be something that'd be nice. Like if you have a friend who would also like to learn verses, you could pick a system. You could either like take turns teaching each other. So like you teach the one verse and then your friend will teach the next verse. And so all you have to do is like, you can do like give that prompt that I showed you before, put that into one of these language learning models, and then you get the whole word for word breakdown and emojis and all that. And then just try to be able to figure out the meaning of all the words on your own. And then once you have like a basic idea of all the meaning of the words, then you can explain it to your friend and try to teach it to your friend. And then your friends can teach you the next verse. And yeah, you can just go back and forth teaching each other. And through that process, you learn much quicker and much more thoroughly than if you just try to learn on your own. And you can pace each other. Like you have to keep each other accountable, right? And so, yeah, that's going to be my post tomorrow. All right. So thank you so much for sticking with me for so long. I've gone on for a long time. My God, it's been an hour and 10 minutes. And tomorrow we will go through the next 4 lines of this beautiful Praṇāma-mantra to Gaṅgā-devī. Jai Gaṅgā-devī ki jai. This is our offering to Gaṅgā-devī too. It's always so helpful to have, because whenever we offer obeisances, it's always important to you have to have a prayer. You have to say something when you offer your obeisances. So you could just say, you could offer obeisances to Gaṅgā-devī and say, I offer you my obeisances. But if you have a beautiful prayer to say to her, then it's so much more powerful. And yeah, so we should have prayers for all different Thakurjis, all different personalities, all these in our minds. And then whenever we're in front of them, then we can recite them, we can offer them to them. And that just makes our whole practice. Also, when we chant Harinam, like we get the mercy of Gaṅgā-devī. My mind is so filled with all sorts of junk, all these YouTube videos that I've watched, all these horrible all these mundane conversations, all these issues and problems I have. I have so much junk in my mind, but Gaṅgā-devī can purify all that. First, I offer pranam to Gaṅgā-devī, and then she'll purify my mind so that I can chant Harinam with a pure mind like that. Like that. These mantras, these prayers are so powerful, much more powerful than our own prayers also, because these were written by, exalted personalities. And so when we use their prayers are a million times more powerful than our weak prayers, which aren't very sincere. So, yeah. All right. Dandavat pranams. Thanks for sticking with me, Nitai Mukeshji. And also I see Rishi Shala here and Ganga Mataji and whoever else is watching. Dandavat pranams. See you all tomorrow at the same time. Yes, Dandavat pranams, Nitai Mukesh. Dandavat. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Gaṅgā-devī ki jai. All right, I'm going to end it now. Hari Bol. Oh, and if you want to see the newsletter that I'm going to write tomorrow on the topic of memorizing verses, you can subscribe to my mailing list at vineofdevotion.com. It's on the screen here, you can see. Then you'll get it in your inbox when I